Hey, good morning, Georgianna. It's so good to be with you this morning. I can't believe it's the 20th of September. The year is flying by, and maybe it needs to fly by, just based on how challenging it remains and continues to be in our lives. Huge shout out to Janice. She had an incredible sermon on the prodigal son yesterday. If you did not catch it, I want to encourage you this week to take some time to give it a look see, and just a great job that Ryan and her are doing with this series. And again, thank you for your grace that has allowed Dee Dee and I to be away for the weekends in September, just to kind of catch our breaths. So I'll be back in church on the 26th, just to support Ryan, and then we'll be back in the pulpit soon. So just last week after 9/11, I got something many of you may have gotten it, may have seen it, but I want to share it today. It's titled by Dr. Rob Leach. It's titled, I Miss 9/12. It says, I would never ever want another 9/11, but I miss the America of 9/12. Stores ran out of flags to sell because they were being flown everywhere. People were Americans before they were upper or lower class, Jewish or Christian, Republican or Democrat. We hugged people without caring if they ate at Chick-fil-A or wore Nikes. On 9/12, what mattered more was what united us than what divided us. I don't know about you, church, but this really was just a poignant reminder to me of how divided we are right now as a nation. It reminded me how desperately we need Jesus, and how it feels like that people are pushing Jesus away at every turn. How anger and hate seems to be the just normal emotions of the day. That we've had to return to live sports, and all I'm reading about in news blogs are the number of fights that people are having in stadiums, and fights that are happening in restaurants, and God knows there's a fight on an airplane every day. We just are a nation that is so divided across some important things, but honestly, I believe 80% of the stuff that divides us is just not important. It just does not reflect a love of neighbor. So let me say to you this morning, as the church, to the Christian people and those who call themselves Christians because of the call of Christ on their heart, as we get to this passage in Joel, I think we need to understand that this passage is a judgment passage. It's a passage that reflects the coming prophetic crucifixion of Jesus Christ, that pays for all of our ugliness and our sin. So let me share with you from Joel chapter 2, verses 30 through 32. God says, I will show wonders in the heavens and on the earth, blood and fire and billows of smoke. The sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. From Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there will be deliverance, as the Lord has said, even among the survivors whom the Lord calls. So we have in this passage Joel's prophetic word for the coming Messiah to be crucified for the sins of all mankind. So we know on the day that Jesus is crucified, we know that the sky turns incredibly dark. We know that the temple curtain is torn. And we know that just this incredible darkness overcomes the land. Part of what I think we're experiencing culturally right now is just this incredible darkness that has come across our land. And so I don't know that there's a simple answer to that other than Jesus Christ. I think it's a complicated answer in the fact that it's going to involve people to come to grips with fatigue of ugliness, of just saying, you know what, I'm tired of the hate. I'm tired of the way that everything sets everybody off. What if we started to lead with love? What if we were keenly aware of what the prophet Joel is talking about? Is there is a judgment day coming, and Jesus for sure has paid the price of all the ugliness, all the hate, and all the darkness with his very life. But we will be judged accordingly to our actions here on earth. So what if we begin to come to grips with the fact that God has called us to be vessels of love and mercy, that God has called us to love our neighbor as we love God himself? Church, as I live in these times with you, I can tell you that they're unsettling for me as well. I get up every morning and feel the burden of our community, and continue to look for ways for us to make a difference, for us to make deposits of love in hopes that we can gain traction that influences person after person after person, so that we can take darkness and repel it with the light of love. So as we think about the prophetic word from Joel, as we think about Dr. Leach's commentary about our country right now, I just pray that you would find ways to be those vessels of love, that you would extend yourself maybe in places where you might normally extend yourself, where places where you would normally be offended. I pray you know how to turn the other cheek. I pray that you understand that it was our sin that drove Jesus to the cross, and that because of that great mercy, we're called to love others. So this is the word God has for us this week. I love you so much, church. I'm so excited about all the good things that God has on the horizon for our church and for us. And I'm thankful to share it with you. Love you. Have a great day.